Hi everyone, I want to show you how to do some glazing today. So first of all, you're going to get a tile and just use a pencil to write your name nice and dark and whatever your block might be on the back, and it will actually still show after it's been fired. You're going to take your first glaze color, take your blue handled brush, mix up the glaze that's in there, and if it's thick you can add a little bit of water from your water cup. Okay, what you're going to do, you're just going to paint a nice even coat and try and get it into all of the creases. Now you're going to have to do 3 coats of your glaze. If you want to really show off the texture, you can actually do your first coat of a darker color and then use the sponge to remove some of the glaze, and do your second and your third coat in a lighter color, and that will actually make the darker color go into the grooves and the lighter color will be only on the raised parts. You can glaze the sides, but we are not putting any glaze on the back. Okay, the bottom has to remain blank so that when it goes into the kiln, the tiny glass particles that are in the glaze mixture don't melt and fuse to the surface of the kiln shelf. What will happen if you accidentally do glaze the bottom is that at the end you'll just take a sponge and you'll wash the bottom of your project so that it doesn't have any glaze, and then I can put it into the kiln and it won't get stuck in there. Yeah, remember that the glaze has tiny particles of glass in it, so you're definitely going to want to wash your brush when you're finished really well. You have tiny pieces of glass dust mixed in with the color pigments, and you don't want to leave those in your paintbrush because then it won't really be good for anything else afterward. Okay, and if you want to use this brush again, you're definitely going to want to clean the glaze out of it. Okay, so once I have my first layer, I have to wait for that layer to dry before I do my second coat. Clean off my brush really well. This is probably a good opportunity to take your paintbrush to the sink and really clean it off really well. What I also like to do, I like to keep a running tally of what glaze colors I've used and how many layers of glaze I have of each color. So on your blotter, maybe you're going to write down what color you just used. I just used True Red, and then just keep a tally of how many layers you have. I have 1 layer of True Red glaze. You can see where it's starting to dry. The areas that are lighter, kind of pastel, those are the dry areas. And after the whole thing is completely dry, you can start to do your second layer of glaze.